Hey guys, Big J here from the Centre Bounce. In today's video, we're going to go through the first three games of round 3 of the 2024 AFL Supercoach season. Hope you enjoy. This week and next week, I think it's 5 or 6 games, or 5 or 6 days of games in a row. And I just figured, hey, we'll try something different on the channel. Maybe we'll come out, we'll review the first 3 games today. With Saturday's games, Sunday's games, and then Monday's game as well. Just to try and give you guys some more content during the week. And I've got some spare time here. So I'm going to go through all the games, talk about the players I've got, the players that you guys probably should be trying to look to get in, and we'll see how it goes from there. Let's check out the first game of the week. It is Brisbane versus the Pies. Brisbane Lions didn't get it done at the Gabba again. And it's really difficult for them as well. Fagan's on a lot of pressure. There's some interesting kind of talks about some discontent from, some people on Big Footy and other things going on as well, of just that the Brisbane players maybe didn't bust their guts in the game last year in the grand final. Cool. They did really well there. This season, they've just flopped. Hopefully, they can get it back for all the Brisbane fans, especially DR as well, who's a big fan of the channel. I think they're going to have a lot of fun versus North Melbourne, though, so it's not all bad, but going 1-4 for the first 4 rounds, although 1-3 for the first 4 rounds is not a lot of fun. And it probably means that you're not going to be top 4. So it's quite hard for those Brisbane fans maybe to take on, but it is what it is, unfortunately. Big scores today from Lachie Neale. Very, very happy. He was looking a little bit sore at times. I think he got a punch in the guts from Pendlebury. Maybe that gets reviewed, maybe not. And then there was some ankle concerns as well through that. So those people that got him in, congratulations. Dane Zorko's another one that we need to put on our radars for Supercoach coming up. 127 seems to have taken the points from what was Kadeen Coleman plus McKenna. A lot of running off halfback, and the guy took kick-ins as well. So if you watch the game, you'd be very, very happy. I think he's sub 500K in the forward line from memory. So, yeah, someone to definitely look at. No more buy as well. So maybe one of your first upgrade targets if you want a bit of a point of difference. Hugh McCluggage there. Average score. Cam Rayner, similar thing as well. McCluggage is one that's definitely worth a watch throughout the season, even if not for getting him in Supercoach, but just, hey, look, does he want to go to a different team? There's a lot of Melbourne sides that are looking for him, and I'm not sure he's from Melbourne or not, but I know he's definitely got some family in Melbourne, so something to kind of watch there, unfortunately. Josh Dunkley, 96. Oy. There's a reason why we didn't pick any of the Brisbane players really in Supercoach. Obviously, round 2 bye hurts a lot, but they're just looking weird. And Josh Dunkley, this guy was a primo for us last year. In the forward line, 96, fantastic. But in the midfield only, a lot of people, maybe not a lot. I've definitely seen quite a few people having him in their team. He's going to drop a lot in money, and maybe you guys can pick him up later. Jared Berry. Now, I'm upset because this is not Sam Berry, who was currently in my team on the bench, of course. But, yeah, Jared Berry, 89. Not too bad. Only 78% game time as well. Moving down the list, there really isn't anyone else who's super relevant in Supercoach. I know some people potentially had a Kai Lohman in their team, or at least we did at the start of the season, or start of Supercoach in December, January, February time. Obviously, only scored at 18. Not that good was the sub. So, yeah, Brisbane just... something's wrong with the team. Something needs to get changed. I don't know if it's a midfield matchup. Maybe Jared Lyons has to go back into the team. I know we spoke about on the live stream, hey, look, Jared Lyons is no good. Maybe he has to go back into the team. But this team is too good to not score, to not win games. And I think one of the identifiers that I've kind of just picked up from looking at the stat sheets is, cool, Cam Rayner kicked 2. But Danaher didn't really have a good day. Hipwood had a shocking day, didn't even kick any goals. I think, he had 5 disposals, probably 8 out of his 8 disposals. I think 6 of those were in the last 10 minutes when the game was over, and he just got a lot of junk time stats. So, yeah, something to look out for there. Heading over to the Pies, yeah, Tom Mitchell, 121. Not too bad. I don't think anyone's got him in Supercoach. Similar to Elliott. But Nick Dacos. Now, this boy... Nick Dacos, I'm pretty sure he had like a 50-point last quarter or last quarter and a half. Very, very happy with the 112. He was not looking good. There were a lot of naysayers saying, hey, Nick Dacos, mate, you're in a lot of trouble. And I'm glad I faded him. But 112 we take. Definitely a lot of, I said it in the preseason, I say it every week. Nick Dacos in the midfield just feels funny. When he starts playing off halfback, cool. He got 30 touches. So I think they're going to try and work things out at the club. Maybe they're missing, your Taylor Adams and a few of these other players. Maybe someone like a Jack Crisp who came on, in the fourth, I think it was, or late in the third. He already had, 15 touches. So, yeah, or 13 touches there, but definitely a good Supercoach score for that amount of points being the sub coming halfway through the third. So maybe they've got to put him in there for the whole game. They'll figure it out. It's Collingwood. Don't need to be too worried there. Moving down the list, Josh Dacos, I know a few people have him in their team as a cheaper 500k option, 89. It's not too bad. And then realistically, there's no one else who's actually warranted in Supercoach. So, yeah, just another game where two teams slugged it out. I would have laughed if it was a draw, kind of having both teams that made the grand final heading into round 4 without a win. But the Pies got it done, and congratulations for them. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they can bounce back. But even just the distribution of goal scorers as well for them was a lot better. Their defense needs a bit of work. And then the offense as well. The midfield is generally where it's set. Halfback set as well with wherever Dacos goes. So, yeah, let me know, guys. Did you have any plays from this team? Anyone from the Brisbane and Collingwood game that you guys liked or didn't like? Let me know down in the comments. Heading over to the first of the Good Friday games. And it's a bit sad because North Melbourne and what was the Bulldogs just had exclusivity for that game. Now they don't, and it kind of sucks. I think we used to be 5 or 6 o'clock start. Now it's the 4 o'clock, so it can fit in a WA game. It is what it is, right? If we're going to put up performances like this, we don't get exclusivity with Good Friday anyway. Hopefully North Melbourne can come back. It was an all right game. First quarter, cool. Not too bad. But ever since that kind of quarter happened, North Melbourne just fell away. Carlton came in 137 to an 81. You can see what it is, right? Look at some of these Carlton stats. Harry Mackay, 5 goals. Curnow, 4 goals. Plethora of other players through here as well doing similar. Matt Ollie's 3 goals there. And even Corey Durden. It really shows that North Melbourne's defense is just, it needs so much work at the moment. We need a good defender that can stop small forwards. We need some other players in there that can stop the talls. Yes, you don't have to dominate them every week, but at least make them miss. It's really tough when that doesn't happen. And heading over to the stats, Harry Sheasel, if he's not in your team, what are you doing? I know a few people didn't start him. Hopefully you've got him in there. You can almost pencil him in for a 125 average. And for a defender, mate, that's bloody fantastic. I know a lot of people like myself jumped on Tom Powell this week, and 92. So basically he scored the second highest score for North Melbourne, got a 92 against a really strong Carlton midfield. So, yeah, as JD says, nothing to worry about there. One of the things that we do just have to be a little bit careful of was first quarter, scored a 30. Second quarter, scored like 10 points. So he can get nullified a little bit, but definitely came home strong and was very, very good. Disposal efficiency a little bit lower than what he's used to, at least what we've seen from the last 2 weeks. I think last week he went at 85, the week before an 83, 6 clangers. So he scored a 92 with 6 clangers. It's not bad. And then the amount of kicks and handballs and stuff in there as well. So pencil him in for high 20s average scoring, hopefully, or disposals. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, let me know down in the comments, did you guys jump on Tom Powell? Because I did. And there's someone from the Carlton that I'm a bit annoyed I didn't jump on as well. Heading down the list, Tristan Cherry, mate. This guy, if you've got him, fantastic. But this guy was on like 30 points at halftime and then realized, I'm actually playing the game. Okay, let's go back. So he's been doing quite well. One of the leading tacklers, well, there was a stat that came out from North Melbourne, or came out from the AFL kind of criticizing North Melbourne, saying Tristan Cherry had 15 tackles in the first 2 games, and no other player had got more than 10. So for him to score another 8, this guy's on 23 tackles in 3 games as a ruckman. Like, if he's not getting hit outs, which he got 32, which is fair, he's getting enough tackles and other avenues of scoring for him to actually do quite well. And there's a lot of times, if you actually watch him, where he's getting the ball and like almost bursting through the packs or kind of distributing the ball off himself. A lot of handballs, but 11 contested possessions and 10 clearances is amazing. Yes, 7 clangers. He's got to work on that. But if you had him in your team, it might just be a week where ruckman score a bit less. Cool. He's around the average. So don't be worried. First price increase should be about that 450K mark. You're going to be happy. Luke McDonald. So North Melbourne's defense just needs a lot of work, and we'll see a lot of these guys not scoring very well. So Luke McDonald, I'm going to say average game, but 100% disposal efficiency is not too bad. Wardlaw would have liked a little bit more, but if we just check what happened, ankle knock. He's a young kid. He's played like 5 games. There's a reason why we didn't pick him up in Supercoach compared to a few others. Larkey, 3 goals. Typical Larkey game. Dylan Stevens, not that great. And then Colby McKercher. So he was actually taking some smothers. He was doing some 1%ers, which was fantastic. On the lower end of the game for him, I think similar to just North Melbourne in general, the ball went from the middle to the big boys in the Carlton forward line. That was it for quite a few passages of play. So maybe Cherry got some points or Tom Powell, but the defenders just didn't get any run off the halfback. So, it is what it is. Zach Fisher did not bounce back. He was doing quite well in the first quarter, I think, and then just fell off, similar to a lot of players, and never really came back. That 70 really hurts. And yes, he'll go up in a bit of money, especially with his 120 score from last week, but there's a lot of people jumping off Zach Fisher. And yeah, I think it's going to happen for a lot more people right now. LDU is one that, LDU is one that I think we just need to be a bit careful of. If I had him in my team, I would jump off 100%. You're going to lose a lot of points, and people are going to be able to pick him up at even low 500K, which isn't great for a guy that you wanted to keep for the whole year. So similar to a Dawson, who we'll talk about in the next game, yeah, there's some players like this that you need to jump off. And if you've got a spare 40-odd K, I would 100% try and go from him to Sarong, just to get like a comfortable scorer there. Moving down the list, Lazaro, 64. I know a few people have him as a cash cow. Yeah, not too bad there. I think he's going to be best 18 for a lot of people on field this week. I don't think he's going to get dropped. It's not like Will Phillips had a massive game on the weekend either, so no one's really pushing him out and kind of did what he did. So, yeah, this is probably where you're expecting him in scoring. So when he comes around to about that 300K mark, really look to offload him to a rookie and then upgrade someone else. Moving down the list, there's no one else really relevant except for Big Toby Pink. Now, if you follow the channel for a long time, you know Kama, Anthony Caminiti, who plays for St Kilda. Massive fan of the show. We've had him on before as well. And unfortunately, he boosted to get Toby Pink into his team this week. And we said it on the stream. I've told him in person. I said, hey, mate, Toby Pink, he's made to play accountable when you're trying to play as a key defender against, you're undersized, right? He's 194 centimeters versus these 200 centimeter Harry Mackay type players. Just get left out in the cold. And yeah, scored a 19. So I know a few people traded Caulfield for him. It didn't really work out, unfortunately. Heading over to the Blues, and they just had a fantastic game. I was watching Blue Abroad, they do their fan cam reactions and then their reviews of the game, and it was basically just how I thought it was. Cool. This team that's playing for finals has beaten up on this team that, has a bad defense who isn't playing for finals. And that's just what happened in the game. So Harry Mackay, 137. Could have got him at 400K. I think he's about 460, 470 now, and he's scored a 100, a 120, and then a 137. So I'm not sure what his matchup is over the next few weeks, but there's some real chance this guy could be top 6. And if you didn't get him last week, have a look at potentially getting him in this week. Yes, he's a key forward, but he also rucks. And with TDK in the team, Mark Pitnet's gone, basically. Harry Mackay's that second ruckman, so you get a bit of avenues from scoring from there. And when you start kicking goals, mate, contested mark is like 8 points, and then a goal is like another 6, and then you put the kick on top of it as well. So if he takes a contested mark in the forward line, that's 20 points. That's a lot of points, boys. So, yeah, something to look out for there in terms of scoring. Adam Chera, good game. I know George Hewitt, a few people had him in their sides as I think he's a 440K midfielder. So congratulations to those people. I know some people actually jumped off him as well, so unlucky there. Moving down the list, Elijah Hollins looked quite good. Not sure in terms of scoring. Not sure in terms of his price, but his scoring was very good. Someone to watch out for after the next game. he obviously missed the first 3 weeks due to the suspension with cocaine. So something to watch out for there. Moving down the list, Zach Williams, you'll take the 70 every day of the week. The guy's 220K, guys. Like, don't be saying, oh, Zach Williams, oh, he's shit. Like, it's a 70. LDU scored a 67, and Zach Williams is 220K. Like, cool. If he scores a 70, he's 380K or around that 400K mark. So, yeah, it's not too bad. Jack Carroll, someone to watch out for a little bit. Yes, he was around the mark and kicked the goal, which was fantastic. But Carlton have a few more of these midfielder types. I'm not sure what's happening with Sam Walsh, either coming back this week or next week. So it is something to watch out for there. Maybe he's the one that gets dropped. Maybe someone else does. Or maybe Carroll gets forced back onto the bench. So, the cash gen's been all right, but we just have to wait and see. If we can get to 300K, you're laughing. And then moving down the list, I don't think there's anyone else who people really have. Maybe some Orazio fans, but the guy's been the sub for the past 3 weeks, so it's not great. All right, guys, let me know from this game, who do you have in your team? You're getting Mackay in. What's going to happen? Let us know. Checking out the last game of the week, and it is the Dockers versus the Crows. And I know George is not very happy. If you check out his Twitter, he's put up some fantastical tweets for the last couple of days, just talking about how the Crows are in trouble. And if you look at the Crows, last year they were very, very dominant with Taylor Walker. And then Thilthorpe came in and kicked his few goals and some other things as well. And, Walker's not doing well, and no Thilthorpe for the first 8 or 9 weeks. So more pain, I think, is coming for Adelaide. If they play North Melbourne or West Coast, they're probably going to win. But outside of that, when they're playing teams they should be competing with to make finals, there's a lot of trouble there. Freo came home. I know a lot of us traded Hayden Young. It's kind of tough when he comes out and scores a 132, but can he do it every week? Not sure. If he scores like this again next week, maybe he becomes a first upgrade target for you. He'll only be about 500K because he did have a break even of 165. So cool. Goes down, maybe break even of 120. Easy. Luke Ryan, who I brought in my team, 130, was on about 75 points heading into the fourth quarter, and I was not very happy. If you're on the Discord, Big J was cranky, mate. But yeah, very, very happy with the 130 there. Was made to play a little bit more accountable and didn't take as many intercepts and as many key defender things as what he probably should have. So something to watch out for there. Maybe there's a low game coming, but he is commanding of that back line. And the guy that's 2 spots under him in Jordan Clark did seem to take a few more kick-ins than I thought Luke Ryan would. So something to watch out for there. Caleb Sarong, I wish I had you in my team. I could have not traded Hayden Young and then got in Caleb Sarong for Nick Martin. Life would be easy. I would be laughing, but we didn't do that, boys. And yeah, it hurts a lot. Caleb Sarong's going to jump up hugely in cash. He's probably going to be around that 670th mark this week. And if he keeps up this scoring, which is very, very likely, he could do very well for a lot of people. He was on about, 30 at halftime or something stupid like that. And then just jumped back up, had an amazing game. And yeah, almost was getting a bit of attention from Adelaide, and they just gave up. And Caleb Sarong came in and dominated. So congratulations to owners there. I know Joe brought him in. Very, very happy. Jordan Clark is one who I want to talk about a little bit. It was flagged to us on the stream on the weekend. And yeah, 460K will have jumped up again. I think he's had, a score of a 108, a 115, and now a 119. So he's taking some of the kickouts. He's almost used as that halfback distributor for Freo. And if you're trying to stack up your team with a few more of these guys that only have one bye, and they have a good bye as well, Jordan Clark, I would be very, very happy if he was in my team. I don't think he's going to lose his role anytime soon. Hayden Young's definitely gone back to the midfield, which has freed up Clark to do a few more things. And yeah, the guy just looks really good. He's super pacey as well, which is what they want. Luke Jackson there, 98, was on about 70 heading into the fourth quarter. So to pull out a ton, very, very lucky. Who else is really relevant in Supercoach? There isn't really that many. So Jeremy Sharp, very, very happy with the 71. Was on about 26 points for maybe even in the third quarter, and then Adelaide just gave up. So Sharp's looking very good. I don't think he's going to lose his spot, which is what we want. Nat Fife, a 70, didn't get subbed, which was very surprising. I thought he was on the way to get subbed. Tom Emmett did. So, you got to be happy with that, I guess. He's going to make you a little bit of money, but at what, 330K or something already. I don't think he's got much time left to go. Heading down the list. So Josh Draper is one who I'm definitely looking into bringing into my side next week. It's going to depend on what happens with Freo's kind of key defenders and defensive roles coming back. But yeah, he looks really good. And for us people who have like a Zach Reed stuck on the bench, Josh Draper, if he pulls out a 50 to 60 every week, we're laughing. Checking out the rest of the players from Freo, no one else really there, but congratulations. If you're one of those people that started like a Luke Ryan, a Sarong, even like a Jackson, potentially a Jordan Clark in your back line, you'd be laughing. You know, I don't want to see what happens with these top 1K teams because I think I'm just going to be too jealous. There's a lot of very good Freo Docked players this year. Something that, you know, myself and Damo can attest to this. I thought, hey, you know, Freo weren't going to be that good. And I think now they're 4-0 and just dominating. So, yeah, or 3-0 because they didn't play round 0. Heading over to Adelaide, and it was not a good game for Adelaide. There's a lot of players from this team that some people have in their Supercoach teams, and I'm sad to say it, but if Sam Berry was playing, he probably would have made them a bit better, especially in this contested game. If you look at all these contested possession numbers here, outside of Matt Crouch, they've got no one else. Like, what have they got? Ben Keys on 8? Not great, boys. It's not great. So Mark Keane, 118, not really Supercoach relevant. Rory Laird, another good score, well, comparatively good score. So if you had started him, you'd be laughing, coming off his, 150, 150. Matt Crouch, another 110. So 490K, I think this guy's going to have to be the steal of the draft, at least to kind of start with. Or steal of Supercoach, at least, for the first part of the season. What's he got? A 120, 120, 110. And this guy was on like 70 points at halftime. So even with the poor Adelaide game, he's still pulling out triple figures. Very, very happy if you were an owner. I'm really considering even bringing him in next week as a cheaper option because he should be around that 530K mark. So let me know down below, is Matt Crouch in your considerations there? Heading down the list, Burgess did very, very well. I know we had him in round 1, traded him out. A little bit sad about that considering how dominant he was. He's playing second ruck and then second key forward alongside Taylor Walker down here. So I think there is a level of scoring to be had with him. Similar to a Cadman, right? If you can ruck a little bit, take some goals, you're doing okay. Probably a 65 average there. Jordan Dawson is someone who, I'm going to say Joe had a good week in terms of trading players out. And Jordan Dawson's 68. He was fumbling the ball. He just wasn't getting touched by his other team members. They just weren't passing to him. And yeah, had a pretty shocking game in terms of disposal efficiency anyway. His DT score kind of says, hey, look, his game wasn't so bad. He just turned it over, but he just looked lost. Freo just came out and dominated, and Jordan Dawson just kind of fell off a little bit. As George was saying on stream and on his latest video, that whenever Matt Crouch has played, I don't think Jordan Dawson's had such a great game. And, you can see the disparity a little bit in the scoring. Yes, they had basically the same amount of touches, but maybe Dawson's just not getting used as that distributor anymore or being put under pressure a little bit. 7 clangers isn't normal, but yeah, that's scoring something to worry about. And if you've got him, you got to jump off, similar to an LDU from the other game, right? Like he's going to drop so much in cash that with some money you can upgrade to someone else, but people are going to get Jordan Dawson in at 500K and they're going to be very, very happy about it. Moving down the list, I don't think there's anyone else who's super relevant in Supercoach. Nope. So that's us for today. Guys, hopefully you liked my review of the first 3 games of this week. Let me know down in the comments if it's something that you guys want to see a little bit more of. I'm happy to do it. Only take about 20 or so minutes to go through the game. So yeah, let me know down below. We've got a lot more content coming out. It is a bit of a squashed week because I think there's a Monday game and a Thursday game. So stay tuned for a lot of content. Team reviews on Monday, live stream on Thursday with the ride home, and then some other stuff during the week as well. We'll go through our captains, the break-evens, the players you need to bring in. So stay tuned for all of that. Remember, here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work so you guys don't have to. Bye for now.